Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders, and thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 17th through October 21st, where we'll talk about the top swing trading stocks to watch. We'll talk about updates to our watch list, our real-time watch list, our bullpen, our shopping list, etc. And then we'll also talk about some strategies, trade ideas, etc. for how we can make money trading during the trading week of October 17th through October 21st. So thank you to all of you who are joining us in the live chat during our live stream. Good morning, Spacula, Walter Lyons, David Spielvogel. If I missed anybody, I apologize. So we'll get started. So here's our Google document with our notes for our part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for this week. Again, you should be able to find the link to this Google document with our notes in the description box below. Also, you can find them in the public Google Drive folder, where we keep our notes for all our weekly trading game plans, so you can have quick reference to all the tools, links, videos, etc. that we use in our weekly trading game plan. Good morning, Johnny Trades. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you again. Thank you again, Spacula, for that super chat. That was greatly appreciated. Spacula has been a long-time great supporter and an enormous help to our channel, and we can't say enough of how much we appreciate all his help and support. So thank you again. So if you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, called Goodbye Tina, where Tina stands for there's no alternative to stocks, and we talked about that nowadays there is an alternative. So we talked about the acronym called TARAs. Now there are reasonable alternatives to stocks. So we talked about strategies of how to deal with that situation now that there are alternatives to stocks, and we're seeing cash flow out of the equity market to other areas. And we'll talk about some of the ways today that we're going to play those various strategies with individual stocks. So if you haven't already seen part 1, we'd highly recommend that you also view that, as that again gives us the market analysis and our strategies that we're applying to the stocks we're going to watch. So quick trade updates. And we're going to talk about selling and buying back covered calls as a way to generate, essentially, I call it generating your own dividend, essentially generating additional income on positions you already have. So just a note that we had previously sold covered calls against our position in DRIP. We sold them at 65 cents, bought them back this week at 35 cents, kept the premium, and now we're going to turn around and sell them again. Similarly, with our position in TMF, we had sold covered calls at 35 cents. We bought them back at 20 cents, and again kept the difference in premium as profit. And now we're going to turn around and sell them again. So it's this rinse and repeat, churning, selling these covered calls, buying them back cheaper. We have several videos about our strategy for how to sell covered calls in the various platforms, E-Trade, Webull, etc. And we'll talk more about that going forward, because we're going to be focusing more on this type of strategy when the market's choppy, when it's declining, etc., and we're kind of waiting for it to turn around. We'll just keep churning these covered calls. We'll sell them when the price of the underlying goes up. We'll buy them back when the price of the underlying is going down, and we'll keep the profit. And we'll just keep doing that over and over again. Good morning, DS Live. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. Our only other trade this week that we actually closed was on USOI. I'll talk about several other buy orders that I have outstanding as we go through our watch list and where those are sitting. But the only other one that we actually closed is we got stopped out of our position in USOI, which is the ETN on crude oil, and I'll show you that one. So we'd gotten in on the 7th at 435. Which was pre-split, which is about 87 post-split. We got stopped out on the 11th at 89.52, got a nice profit, about 2.5%. So that gives us a monthly profit of just over 2%. And this is after we collected a month's worth of a very nice dividend that USOI pays. And we're going to turn around and try to get back in. So I'll show you that trade a second. I'll zoom out to the monthly so we can see where was it on the 7th. So we got in. I have to check my prices again since it was post-split. So 87 to 89.52. That was VTI. So it's a little bit difficult to see. I'll zoom this guy in a little bit. And again, since it's post-split, it's a little difficult to see. You can't really see our entry point because it was pre-split. If I go to the 5-day on this guy, you can see on the 11th is when it took a took a decline when oil prices had declined. They were up to 93, so I started putting a stop underneath this position. When oil prices dropped under 90, stopped us out, and now you can see it's been declining. Had a brief up on Thursday, and it's coming back down. You can see where my target to buy it back in is essentially oil at 80. Oil has been bouncing between 80 and 90. It briefly peaked up. You can see it, 93 briefly and then rolled over. So right now it's downtrending. Oil's at 85.55. So if it bottoms at 80 or wherever it bottoms again and turns back up, we'll probably re-enter our position in USOI. I believe the ex-dividend is around the 19th, so I'd kind of like to get back in before the 19th and collect another monthly dividend if I can. So again, these pay monthly dividend, a very nice monthly dividend, something like 20-something% was the last monthly dividend in terms of an annual yield. So a great way to generate recurring income using these ETNs. So just another quick reminder is we post our trades to our Patreon. So if you want to get real-time alerts in email on the trades we make, whether it's a new position or we get stopped out or close a position, join our Patreon at patreon.com BeachBum Trading. And then we also post those in the alerts channel in our Discord. So our Patreons have access to these various alerts channels. And you can see I also post the updates to our positions in the alerts channel. Also, we get real-time price alert triggers from Thinkorswim. So I have alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When they get triggered, it automatically posts to that channel in our Discord. And then if I act upon that, I will reply to that price alert and tell you that, we took a position. So you can see some of the recent alerts we've gotten, but we haven't acted upon yet. So also in our Discord, and our Discord is free to join. There's just a few channels, our alerts channels, our watchlist channels that are Patreon members only. But one of the channels I added this week was a lessons learned channel. So now in our Discord, you'll also find a lessons learned channel, and I posted this same message there so we can share and help each other out. If you learn something about trading or really anything related to trading, finance, etc., you can share that with your fellow BeachBum traders in the lessons learned channel. And you can see I posted this same message. I think it's probably easier to read in the Google document just because it's larger. But what I learned is if you're retired and under official retirement or official or traditional retirement age and you're trying to open a brokerage account or add some kind of options, futures, options, option trading, etc., to your brokerage account, it's recommended that you select and indicate that you're self-employed rather than retired, as they don't understand how you can be retired and under official or traditional retirement age, and they'll just deny your application. And I learned this because E-Trade recently offered futures trading on my Roth IRA account. I said, hey, that's great. I wanted to learn futures trading. I'll apply. So I applied and I put retired because essentially I'm retired. And I am not of official retirement age or traditional retirement age. And they could not understand that. And therefore, I talked to the guy at E-Trade and he said, well, next time put self-employed. Don't put retired, because they won't be able to understand that if you're under 65 or maybe 59 and a half or whatever and you put retired, they don't get it. Unfortunately, they couldn't understand that, and therefore I can't even reapply until I wait 60 days. So next time I apply, I'll put self-employed. So, and just an FYI, lesson learned. I hope that helps you all out as well. So now we'll go through our watch list updates. I'll grab a drink a sec. And we've got quite a few updates applying our strategies from yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we saw that silver had been beaten down pretty severely recently. So AGQ is an ETF, a leveraged ETF on silver. We've traded this before. I wanted to get back in. It ran away previously. I'd love to be able to get back in AGQ. I actually put a buy order. I'll show you where that is, sitting at the recent low in AGQ, and it just didn't quite hit on Friday. I was hoping maybe it'd hit on Friday, but it didn't quite hit. But I'll show you where that is in a minute. We had put AGQ in our bullpen, and we had updated our watch list to our Patreon members in our Discord. We have a watch list channel. So if I make changes to our watch list intra-week or particularly intra-day, I will post them to this watch list channel in our Discord. So if you'd like to get, again, those types of updates, you can join our Patreon. FAS, and this is one I'll refer to later. Someone turned us on to this, that this is a bull 3x ETF on the financial industry. So I've added both the bull and bear leveraged ETFs on the financial industry in our ETF spreadsheet. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And initially I put it in the bullpen and then moved it up to our watch list. And then you saw XLF, which is essentially the financial industry ran on Friday. So if we get a pullback in that, it has a nice risk reward profile we'll look at. FAS FNGU, again, we've had several tech related ETFs in our watch list. And then, we got that crazy action after the CPI. So it ran quickly up and then dipped back down. So now we just want to see, is it going to hit that the same bottom or is it going to continue down below its current level? Generac, we've talked about for a while, had that for a while. MP Materials, we have a due diligence video you can see on that. NXE, we've had in our bullpen for a while, and we'll see that it looks like it's setting up a little better. This is one of the uranium plays that we've been watching for a while, and uranium's been pretty beaten down. So we've got several uranium plays that we've been watching, and this looks like it might give us an opportunity for a swing along with UROI. You'll see that later in the watch list. OPP, again, we talked about this for a while, is a fixed income bond fund. It's been declining with the prices of treasuries, so we're kind of waiting for that to find a bottom and swing back up. But you can see it pays a nice 19% dividend. So it's a pretty nice dividend. It's beaten inflation, etc. But we want to see it find a bottom. Another one we're adding back to our watch list. This is the old friend of ours. We've traded pets before, PetMed Express. We have an older due diligence video on it that you can watch as to our thesis with PetMed Express. It popped up in one of my queries, and again, that's an old friend. It pays a decent dividend, 5.8%. It's quarterly dividend. It is optionable, so we can also sell covered calls, and it has a nice swing to it. So it was nice to see it coming back down, and if we can get a nice swing trade in PetMed Express again, they are profitable, so it's not an issue of an unprofitable company. So we'll see if we get a shot at that one. And then we've had Soxel, SVXY. Soxel, is semiconductors, the bull on semiconductors, and it ran too when they ran tech the other day. It's coming back down. We'll see if we get a shot at it. SVXY is the short on the VIX, probably my favorite trade. We didn't get that spike on the VIX that I kind of thought we might on the CPI data. It only went up to the maybe 32. I don't know if it even hit 33. I don't remember. But it didn't hit the previous high. So my buy in SVXY buys didn't trigger. And I do have some sizable buy orders sitting at 45.07 at the 52-week low. So if we do get a spike in the VIX, those buy orders will hit, and then we'll have a sizable set of orders shorting the VIX. So again, one of my favorite trades, because the VIX by its very nature tends to retrace. So it goes down, SVXY goes up. So UROI is another uranium play. We've had that in our watch list for a while. And then VTI we put back in. VTI is the total market index fund. Put that back in the watch list on the 7th after we got stopped out of our last big positions. And I will show you, I put large orders in sitting at the most recent bottom in VTI as well. Thought those might hit on Friday while I was at the beach. So I set these orders like on SVXY, AGQ, and my SVXY has been sitting there for a while, but I set VTI and AGQ and went to the beach, and I thought I'd come home and maybe they hit, and they didn't quite. So maybe Monday, Tuesday, maybe early this week, I'll get a hit on those. So I showed you we automatically generate a web page with our watch list every day that our Patreons have access to. And then if I make intraday changes or after hours changes, I'll post those in that channel to the Discord. So now we'll take a look at the charts for these watch list items. I'll take a peek at the chat. So I see you guys are chatting away, which is great. Good morning, Flip of the Shippo. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. And just a quick reminder that none of this is financial advice. We're not recommending, that you buy anything. We're telling you what we're watching, what we're doing. Same thing with our trade alerts. I don't recommend anyone blindly follow us or anyone else. Find your own trading style that you can be consistently profitable with. We're just giving you some trade ideas that we hope that you can make money with. So we do hope this helps you. But again, we're not advocating that anyone blindly follow us or anyone else for that matter. So again, everybody's got their own trading style that fits them best. Again, whatever you can be consistently profitable with, in my humble opinion, is the way to go. So here's AGQ. You can see, it had run up. It's been steadily coming down. You can see I put my buy in. You see I've got the alert at 1757. That's where my buy orders are sitting. It just didn't quite get there. We'll see. All they got to do is spike silver down a little bit, and it may even rebalance on Monday morning. I might wake up to it at 4 a.m. and find out my Weeble orders triggered because they rebalance it at some point. It looks like they might be at market open. So you look at where the gap up, gap downs in these leveraged ETFs are, and you can figure out where they're rebalancing them. FNGU is the long on FANG. You can see they ran it up on Thursday, came back down on Friday. The low is 433, so that's what we're watching to see. Is it going to retest that low and turn back up, or is it going to break down further? GNRC just been trailing down. The question is, where's the bottom? Where's it going to bottom and swing back up? It's very attractive at this price. It's getting popular. There's some analysts on CNBC talking about GNRC as well. MP Materials, you see again, and they ran it up. It's coming back down. We'd like to get it, down at near the bottom. NXE, another uranium play. You can see it's coming back down. You can see, we just like it at this recent bottom again if we can, or wherever it turns back up. Got a nice risk reward profile. This is that fixed income bond fund, OPP. It just keeps going down with the prices of bonds, particularly treasuries. So just where's the bottom and where will it swing back up? So here's Pet Meds. So we can see the recent bottom's about 1883. Right now, So a little above that. So you can see it held up very nicely with even the decline on Friday. Pets held up. So that's a real positive indication. I don't really want to chase it up there since it's already swung up. If we could get a little bit of a retracement where we could pick it up, that would be a nice opportunity. Again, it pays a quarterly dividend. SOXL semiconductors, so you can see they bounced it up on Thursday. It's coming back down. 622 is the recent low. See if it holds. Here's SVXY. Again, I've got buys at 45.07. The recent low was 45.06, so I'm a penny above that. TQQQ is the bullish, the long leveraged ETF on the whole NASDAQ. So we can see it bottomed and then bounced up on Thursdays, coming back down. 1633 is the recent low. Again, all of these guys we want to see, are they going to, I expect them all to retest that low. The question is it going to hold and bounce back up, or is it going to break down? We know the market's bearish. We saw that all yesterday. But, you also see they have a tendency to run them up. And when they tend to start to run them up, they run them up fast. So these are great for day traders, momentum traders, breakout traders, people more nimble than I typically am. But boy, all of these, when they start running tech, SOXL, TQQQ, what was the other one? FANGU. They tend to all run together. So pick which one you like, and can see it. Again, last week our whole title was "Don't move till you see it." So if you see one of these that fits your trading style, you can jump on it. So I hope that helps. URLI, again, another uranium play. You can see it's just sitting above where I'd like it, and it may be stable there, so we may have to up our buy price a little bit, but if it keeps coming down, 210 is a support level I like. And then VTI, again, this is the total market index. I put my buys a penny above the low. There's actually a low at 84. And I put it at 85. I've got several big buys sitting there waiting for a retest. I kind of expect them to retest that low. I kind of thought we might get it on Friday, didn't yet, but we might get it Monday, Tuesday at some point. So now we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. If anybody's new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen are ones that we're not watching real time during the day. Their setup isn't quite what I'd like it yet, but they're approaching a setup that I like. So we put them in a bullpen, and at the end of the day, I quickly go through this list that you'll see in Webull and see if the setup looks better. If so, we put them in the game, move them up to our real-time watch list. If they break down and the setup falls apart, then I just take them out of the bullpen. And again, this gets regenerated automatically and provided in a web page to our Patreons. So we talked about aluminum yesterday. We've talked about aluminum for a couple of weeks. We heard about a potential ban on Russian aluminum. We'll look at Alcoa. It popped a little bit on that news, but not significantly. If we get a little bit of a pullback, Alcoa might be a nice opportunity to play that aluminum. They are pushing for the White House to enact that ban, which you can see why, because that would benefit them. So that's a potential catalyst for Alcoa, and that had the best both fundamentals and the best technical setup at the time that we looked at aluminum stocks. So talked about AGQ. We moved that up to our main watch list. Another interesting update is I'm taking big lots off of our watch list. In fact, I'm taking big lots out of consideration for some period of time. And I did a due diligence video. It's currently unlisted, but because as a bonus for watching this game plan, and you can access this link in our Google document notes, there's the due diligence video on big lots. And I'm glad that I did this, and this is one of the reasons that it's valuable to do this kind of due diligence, is because we had a good thesis that we thought is why big lots would be a turnaround play and swing back up. And as you'll hear, based on my due diligence, again, we're taking it out of the watch list, and you'll hear the reasons why in that video. So we will revisit, you'll hear, we'll revisit big lots. And again, in that video, we'll discuss what the criteria for reconsidering big lots is in the future. So also, I'm taking Boyle off. It's, setup's not great, and we can track both. Boyle is the short on natural gas, cold, KLD is the long on natural gas. We have those in our ETF Google Sheets that you'll see. So, if it becomes attractive, I can see that in the ETF Google Sheet. I don't need to have it in my bullpen right now. DNN's a uranium play. We've had that there for a while. Again, you'll see it's just kind of sitting a little higher than I'd like it right now. DRN is a real estate bull leveraged ETF. Real estate, you've heard, and we talked about that particularly homes, is in a recession. And so this has been downtrending for some period of time. When that swings around, when sentiment has hit the bottom of negativity and it turns around, there's a good opportunity there. Here's this FAS that we talked about earlier. And this was pointed out to us by Milan Todorov. And I don't know if Milan is around today. I didn't see him offhand, but he pointed this out to us. And so added that to our database, to our ETF spreadsheet. That one looks like a pretty good setup right now. And we'll also see the inverse of that, the Bear 3X. I added that to the ETF spreadsheet as well. So now we can, we have leveraged ETFs to play real estate. So that was good. Generac we put on our main watch list. Another home-related one is Nail. It's got a decent setup. Again, same thesis. When the home building market turns around, we might be able to get a swing in home builders with this ETF. Again, right now home sales is in a recession, so when it starts to come out, it could be a good opportunity. NXE we moved up to our main watch list. Realty Income. Putting it in the bullpen. It's been beaten down pretty severely. This is a REIT. It is a non-mortgage based REIT. So like many REITs, it pays a monthly dividend, a pretty nice one. It also has a nice swing to it. We already have a long position in O. Part of the reason I was looking at it again to see if we wanted to add to it, but again, it looks like it's just downtrending right now. So once it establishes a new bottom, we may consider adding to our position in O. So again, it pays a pretty decent monthly dividend, has a decent price appreciation to it. We've swung O over and over again and made good money. So when it bottoms, it swings back up. Again, we might add to our position. ONG, we're going to take off. It already ran up. This is based on oil. So when oil shot up, ONG shot up. Seagate, we've talked about. We've had it on our bullpen for a while. It's just not quite where we want it, the setup-wise. URG, another uranium play. And then we talked about, we got stopped out of our USOI. We'd like to get back in. It's just not at the bottom. We saw that it's got a little ways to come back down before we could swing that back. And I'd like to ideally see oil in the low 80s to buy back in. So Walter Lyons says, I checked on O, and November 3rd is the earnings. Let me see if I put it down. I probably didn't put it down. I've got it in my database, and you can also see it in Thinkorswim when the earnings dates are, and you could set an alert on earnings dates. I've got a video on how to do that as well. So we'll look at the bullpen in Webull in a sec. Just a quick reminder, as you can see, I heavily use Webull. Webull's our favorite trading platform, and right now they're still offering 12 free stocks. So if you're not already using Webull, you can get up to 12 free stocks. You just open an account, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $300. If you deposit any amount, even $1, you get up to 10 more free stocks valued up to $3,000 each. So again, if you're not already using Webull, it's our favorite trading platform. We, track our watch list. We do most of our actual trading in Webull. So we like the tool a lot. So as you can see, I have multiple watch lists in Webull. One's our bullpen, one's our trades that I use for our trade reviews for these game plans. So here's Alcoa. You can see, there's when they announced that potential ban on Russian aluminum. It popped up initially, ran up a little bit, started to come back down. If it comes back down and we can get in at a cheaper price, that would be nice. It's got decent range, so, that's where I'd like it down, down here, but it's got good range up into the, 90, 97, so plenty of reward potential. DNN, I'd really like $1, down at $1, 92 cents. It does look like it's coming down. DRN, you see this is that real estate guy. It's pretty much downtrending, making new lows. This is the bull on financials. You see it ran way up on Thursday, started to come down. Again, with the market pushing it down. So the financial sector had good earnings, JPM, Wells Fargo, pretty good. So if it comes back down, that would be a positive opportunity. Nail, again, home builders. See the longer term trends generally down. We can see where that previous low is. So if it tests that low, multiple bottom, double bottom there, that would be nice. Seagate, you can see it's just been downtrending. So again, the question is, where is the bottom? Where is it going to bottom and swing back up, making lower lows? URG, another uranium. We see I'd like it, somewhere $1, and it looks like almost a head and shoulders type of thing. So we might be able to get that test. And then we talked about USOI. So, we'd like it at, S2 is $80, 79.74, or 77-ish. And you can see what they were paying on a dividend now. This is pre-split, so I haven't seen their announcement of what dividend they're going to pay post-split. So I'm interested to see that again. And I'm assuming the ex-dividend, I don't think they list the ex-dividend dates here. No, because it's an ETN, so you can't really see the ex-dividend dates. So that's what we've got in our bullpen right now. Let's talk about, we'll look at our ETF spreadsheet. Okay, so there's the bull on financials. Here's the bear on financials. So it's FAS, FAZ are the bull and bears on the financial sector. And again, that was FAS was pointed out to us by Milan Todorov, and I went to the ETF database and searched up the bear on the financial sector and found out it's FAZ. So now both of those are in our ETF spreadsheet. And our Patreons have access anytime to our Google Sheet containing this ETF spreadsheet that I'll show you. And I'll zoom in a little bit. Someone, and please remind me, someone was asking about technology ETFs yesterday, and you can remind me who that was. I'll try to highlight a few. We already talked about several: FANGU, FANGD. FANGU is the up bullish on the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and there's probably some others in that ETF, and then FANGD is the bear. Okay, it was FLIPA. Okay, great. So we talked about FANGU. FANGD is bull and bear on FANG. You can see on biotech, it's LabU, LabD. LabU is the bull on biotech. LabD is the bear. You can see neither one of them, LabU is a little above support level, so it's okay, not great. And I'm real hesitant. Biotech is, they all lose money, so it's not great for a recession. It's not great for a raising interest rate environment. They're going to have a tough time getting money in general. So the biotech. So I'm not real bullish right now on biotechs, but if it were bottoming, and it's not a bad day trade. You can use LabU, LabD to swing these on a very short time frame. We also talked about SOXL and SOXS. SOXL is the bull on semiconductors. SOXL is the bull on semiconductors. SOXS is the short on semiconductors. Again, on any given day, you can day trade those guys very profitably if you're nimble. So let me think of some other technologies and we'll look at them. You guys know that they're having this Communist Party election in China right now. They expect Xi to get reelected. We'll have to see what that does with the Chinese ETFs. Yen is the long, Yang is the short. Lately, Yen's been running with the tech stocks, so it's been beaten down. Also, the sentiment on China is pretty negative, so we'll see. We are currently long yen, but again, this is another pair that, on any given day, you can swing those profitably as well. Yep, so, and there are several other China ones. You can see their risk reward profile, KWeb, CWeb. CWeb is internet only type bull, 2x. So there's multiple ways to play China tech without getting into individual stocks and the risks that are involved in that. We've been out of Chinese, Taiwan, and Hong Kong stocks for over a year. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I've been looking at copper. It's not really in a great setup. Been watching this dry bulk shipping. Again, it's a little high. We were watching that for a while. Emerging market. Here's all of our energy ETFs. Again, for natural gas, it's cold and boil, cold, short, boil, long. For oil, there's a number of them. You can do GUSH or UCO for bull, and DRIP and SCO for a short. There's a number for gold. Gold's been beaten up pretty heavily too, and we're currently long a number of gold miners. We're long GDXU, long GLDI, but you can see some of these are looking attractive. GDXU, getting there where it could be very attractive as well. We talked about silver. So here's the silver, as you can see, here's the risk reward profile in SOXL, very attractive. So it's just sitting a little bit above the bottom. There's another short. There's a couple shorts, SOXS and SSG. You can see, let's see, risk reward wise, SOXS is better. It's also a short on silver, ZSL. So we're currently long SBLO. Again, it pays a monthly dividend, so we just sit there and collect the monthly dividend from SOVO. And then if AGQ bottoms, you can see how close it is to the bottom. We'll go long AGQ for a shorter term swing. David Spielvogel says, Beach, what's your buy-in target for Boyle? Okay, well, let's look at that. So natural gas, So here's Boyle. It's at 49.53. Support I've got at 38.70. So that's, and again, natural gas is still a little bit high. It's sitting at 647. So, it's got a ways to come down to a support level. It does present a nice risk reward. And again, we have fellow BeachBum traders that trade cold and boil and make a nice profit on any given day. Natural gas is very volatile, so it's got good range. You got to be nimble and be careful because it does move quickly and it is very volatile. So I hope that helps. So let's see. Okay, DRN we talked about. You can see we'd kind of like it down 682. Talked about S&Ps. So again, if you want to swing the indices, we've got longs and shorts on the various indices. We talked about the Nasdaq TQQQ. So here's TQQQ. You can see 1632, but again, all green. And for anybody, again, if you're new to our weekly trading game plans, the green indicates a risk reward profile of greater than 2 times the risk. The reward equals greater than or equal to 2 times the risk. So then it highlights green. And I like to see, green across the board. Ideally from support to resistance. This is current relative to the support and resistance. These fields, the low and high, are updated from Google Finance functions as well as the daily price, etc. Again, this is not real-time data, so it's not maybe the best for day trading, but for identifying nice risk-reward profiles, I find it very useful. I can quickly whip through these guys and see who looks potentially attractive and update my watch list accordingly. So, yeah, Walter says you got to protect yourself. Yeah, and Walter's I would say one of our best natural gas short-term traders. I think he's done quite well on that. And yes, it is volatile. You have to be careful, but there's money to be made. Same way SOX L, SOX S. Here's VTI. You can see, it's really only got about a 40% reward. So this is more a long-term investment source of cash. It's not, it's not going to make you rich. But when the market overall swings back up, it's a nice, safe, relatively safe place to park some cash and get some appreciation and then be in the market as it trends back up. So. And we see treasuries, they've been beaten up recently because the interest rates are going up. So treasury prices are going down. There are some ways to play the yield. So here's a bear 3x on treasuries, but it's run way up because obviously treasury prices are way down. So I know Tanbeer, I think, is playing TLT. We're playing TMF. You can see right now, again, they've been pretty severely beaten up. And SPXY, again, you can see 4506 is the 52-week low, and that's where we kind of like to get it. Right now it's sitting at 48. See, UVXY is the long on the VIX. You can long UVXY or VXX. And then I was even looking at this yen one. It was showing kind of attractive, but there's issues with the foreign currencies, the strong dollar. Dollar's expected to stay strong. I might take another look at that. It doesn't look too bad in terms of risk-reward profile. So is there any other categories anybody wants to look at in the ETF spreadsheet? Did I miss anything? Talk about home builders. Real estate. Here's nail. So you see nail looks pretty attractive. It's sitting a couple bucks above support. Yeah, I see David Spielvogel and others are talking about just the energy, um, the rational thesis is, going into winter, one would expect the prices of oil and natural gas to be going up, and OPEC just cut production, etc. Yet the prices are going down. I mean, oil went up to 93, and now it's coming down. Nat gas bounced off 7, it's coming down. And again, I think that's just more of a trading and a sentiment situation than a thesis in terms of the logic of demand. Um, it got so high and now it's coming down. So I think people unwinding positions, etc. Also recession, and they're dollar denominated. So when the dollar's strong, it drives the price of dollar denominated commodities down. That includes oil, natural gas, gold, silver, copper, etc. Also recession, with recession fears, they figure there'll be less demand for oil. So right now, and as we mentioned yesterday, the prices have not been reacting as much to the inventory data as they were previously. So again, um, I would recommend, again, not financial advice, but I would say watch the price action and go with the price action. Right now, the trend is down. When it turns and goes up, you play it up. So I'd be watching the price action more than the thesis that demand will increase going into the winter. Although yes, I would agree with that, and eventually it probably will turn that way. It's just a matter of where is it going to bottom and turn. Okay, so if there aren't any other ETFs anybody wants to look at, again, you can ask in the chat. Now, if you're a Patreon member, you have access to the spreadsheet at any time. You can make a copy of it if you want. Again, a lot of the support resistance data, bottom, top, etc., is automatically updated at the end of the day out of our database. So those fields would not be updated. Previously, it was manual, and I automated that because otherwise it's too much work. So, and I'm lazy. So in terms of shopping list, again, we've been talking, for a long time. Anything you're looking to buy, make sure it's inflation proof. Here's several videos on how to inflation proof with our strategies. We're in a rising interest rate environment. Again, we've known this for a long time. We talked yesterday, the Fed's going to raise probably 75 in November, probably 75 in December, and then we'll see. So again, make sure anybody that you're going to buy is going to be resilient to rising interest rates, strong dollar. The dollar's still very strong. Let's see where it's sitting right now. I think it's 113 something. 113.17. It, I think, peaked at 114 something. So again, when the dollar strengthens, again, we talked about dollar denominated commodities, its effect on that, etc. So, and also recession proofing. We're in a recession. Make sure your shopping list, the stocks that you want to buy and hold for any length of time, are going to be resilient to a recession. David Spielvogel's asking room on SQQ. Again, in terms of any length of time, I'm not looking at shorting any of the indices because there's not a lot of room. They've been heavily shorted. So if we look at that, it's at 64. I've got resistance at 67, 68. 52-week high is 69. So, it's only got, maybe $5 up. Resistance or support level is 33. So 5 up, 30 down. That's not an attractive risk reward profile to me. Now, if you're day trading it and they're pushing tech down, then you can day trade it and ride it down as long as it goes. So. Okay, so I need to wrap by 11. So to answer a couple questions that have come up is Spacula had previously asked about RH, which Restoration Hardware is what people typically know RH as. I did do a due diligence video on RH that was previously released to our Patreons early, and now as a bonus for participating in this weekly trading game plan, here's the link in the notes to my due diligence video on RH, again, most commonly known by their subsidiary of Restoration Hardware. So you can see what I think of RH. Is this stock to buy now, hold later, wait, etc. in this due diligence. Also, yesterday and previously, Tanvir had asked about Petrobras, the Brazilian petroleum company, and this morning I did the due diligence on Petrobras. So currently this is unlisted. Again, I just finished that this morning, so you can see what my opinion is on Petrobras and their high dividend. Actually, now if you look at their yield, it's actually significantly higher than that. And again, you can hear what I think of the stability of that dividend yield, whether I think Petrobras is a buy now or not, or potentially in the future, and if so, what types of trades you might want to continue for Petrobras. So I hope that helps. Again, here's the link in the notes. Tanvir, if for any reason you're unable to access that link in the notes, let me know, and I can post it as a comment under this video or in the Discord, etc. So, and eventually we'll release that. So let me know if you have other questions. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as we try to wrap up. Just a couple other updates to our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join. You can find an invite in the description box below. Also, in the links section on our homepage, there's an invite to the Discord, as well as links to trading tools, resources, platforms. Our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. And again, our Discord, I added, Spacula had recommended a due diligence channel. So I've added a due diligence channel. It's, again, publicly accessible. If you have a request for a due diligence video, you can put requests for due diligence there. We can post links to those due diligence videos as they're released, etc. So we hope that helps. And thank you, Spacula, for reminding everybody. Again, we'll try to wrap up, but if you like this content and the types of content we provide, we hope you'll smash the like button. We hope you're a subscriber to our BeachBum Trading channel. We hope you'll share this on your social media with your fellow trading friends, etc. Let's get more traders involved in our discussions, in our live chats, in our Discord. Everybody help each other out. That's our objective, is to build this community of traders, help people learn how they can make money in any market, how they can make money trading, etc. So again, that's our objective, and we want to help as many people out as we can. We want to bring back people that might have left the market. My concern, again, as I expressed before, is people left the market and they're about to miss what I would call a generational opportunity. We look at VTI, and right now it's down around 180, and it could go up to 244 essentially. You got a $60 appreciation, so 60, it's about 30 to 40%. You can make at relatively low risk, not a lot of effort, just by trying to catch somewhere near the bottom and ride it up as the market turns around. So again, I'm afraid people are going to miss the turn, and then they're going to get in when it's up in the 240s again. So if there aren't any further questions at this time, I will wrap up. Again, you can ask further questions in our Discord and our Facebook group. Contact me via social media. Try to respond as soon as we're able. Main chats here in the beach party. And it's free to join our Discord. Again, you can find a link in the description box below. Thank you all for joining us in the live chat for our live stream today. And we hope you have good luck and have a great trading week. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your weekend and a great trading week. Bye.